Hello girly girl, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Octavia. If it is that you are new here, welcome to my platform where I share things all about my single life in my 30s living in New York City. If it is that you're on the same journey, sis, welcome. But if you have watched any of my videos before, welcome back girly girl, and I do hope you will enjoy this video as well. As you realize, I did my makeup. The girl is looking super cute for today. I am wearing this Prada lip combo for the very first time and I am loving it. Just look. This lip combo, you guys, is like, yeah girl, you are doing the do. You are doing the do with this lip combo, and I am just loving how I am putting myself together on a day-to-day basis. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about. I just want to share with you guys my 1-year glow up journey and what it has been like for me. Basically just like an update overall as to how things started and where I am right now and how I'm planning on moving forward with my life. This process started on November 3rd, 2023, exactly 1 year ago, you guys, where I've made that very big decision for myself and my children, but mostly for myself. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, guys. I must start off by saying that in the relationship that I was in for the last 10 years, the key factor as to what made me decided that I wanted to end the relationship was the fact that I knew no longer who I was. I did not want to follow my dreams anymore. I felt like I was literally in a pit hole. I felt as though I was drowning. I felt as though I just did not want to achieve anything anymore simply because I lost myself. And I will not get into details as it pertains to him because I want this video to be solely about my glow up journey and what it has been like for me over the past year. Ever since I knew myself, I had goals that I'd set out for myself. I had a vision as to how I wanted to live my 30s. And when I saw me hitting the age of 30 September 22nd, which is like literally a few weeks before the relationship would end, then I knew definitely that I was not about to continue in this relationship any longer. I knew I had to take control of my life. I knew I had to make the decision to walk away and start the single girl journey. And I knew that God was going to be the forefront of it all because I could not do it by myself. I knew it was going to be an intense emotional roller coaster for me, and especially when it comes on to the healing side of it. And so I knew most definitely that I had to put God in front of me. I had to set that tone in understanding that, girl, yes, you're going to be riding solo, but at the end of the day, you're going to need God with you. You're going to need that direction. You're going to need that motivation when every single soul turned their back on you. And for me, I must say, this has been my saving grace. This has been my rock in getting to this stage of my life where I can sit before you guys to give you a glow up life update after a year. Without God, I could not have done this. So now that I've gotten that part very clear out of the way, let's move on to some of the challenges that I faced over this 12 months process that has now led me to this moment where I feel so elated, you guys, for the fact that I have come this far and I'm seeing so much wonderful results of the work that I have put into myself to glow up. I had now become a full-time mom in a blink of an eye, you guys. I had to now take on the task of motherhood by myself while also trying to pour into me. And this, I must say, was the hardest part of the journey. There were days, you guys, when I felt like I was just done with motherhood. I felt like I could not do it anymore because I had a strong desire to just pour into myself. And when I did not have that opportunity to do so, it made me lash out really easy. I was very angry. There was a lot of bitterness. I felt betrayed even by God, saying for the fact that I have 2 children to now raise by myself. I want to glow up. I want to change my life. I just want to go out. I want to move away. I want to just do things so much for myself, and I never wanted my children to be a part of this. I just wanted to be by myself. I just wanted to be alone. And because I could not get that opportunity to be alone, I had a lot of internal anger that I would face on a day-to-day basis. And mainly for the fact that there is no day off. I was with my children 24/7 a day. There was no break. There was no weekend with dad, weekend with grandma. It was me every single day doing every single thing, and because of that I felt really alone. I felt angry. I felt bitter inside, knowing that I had to now take on the full responsibility of raising my children all by myself, while also having a strong desire to just be by myself, to just pour into me, to just love on me. And because I was not able to do that in the first few months, I must say, girly girl, it was tremendously hard. And every single day God will tell me self-care, self-love, self-care, self-love, self-care, self-love. It is very important that you do self-care, self-love. And at that time I could not understand what he meant by self-care, self-love, self-care, self-love. Every single day that I would feel completely just out of it, God would tell me to go and practice self-care and self-love. Burnout was the next thing that came from me just trying so hard to balance motherhood and pouring into myself. I felt as though I was literally losing it because I was so tired, I was so drained, and what I did not understand also was that this was a part of my healing process. This was a part of me detoxing every single thing that I have bottled up inside of me for years, and now it's finally getting a chance to relieve itself in whatever way, because I'm no longer around this person. And so a tremendous amount of tiredness came on my body, and it was later on that I understood that it was a way that my body was using to release itself from everything that I was holding on to, that I never spoke about or I never dealt with over the years. So you will go through a period of immense tiredness, you guys, where you just feel so fatigued. You feel like you don't want to do anything. You feel unmotivated. You feel uninspired. You just feel as though you don't want to be around anybody, do anything. You don't want to talk. You don't want to do nothing. I went through a very intense phase of that, and it is a part of your globe journey. So in other words, you have to go down before you can come up. You will go through a period where you feel as though you are completely defeated. But the truth is, baby girl, you are not drifting away. It's just you relieving yourself of all the stress and the toxicity that you have gathered onto your body, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit over the years. And you have to go through that period of cleansing and detoxing. And that was what I felt when I was going through that period of trying to manage motherhood and taking care of myself, and just ensuring that at the end of the day I was not neglecting either party. Now, the third challenge that I faced on my self-love / globe journey over the last 12 months, when I say girly girl, I had extreme mood swings. Believe me, the mood swings were uncontrollable. There were days when I would feel so happy. There were days when I feel as though, yes, I'm finally getting my life back. Things are falling into place. I am all on high. The mood is like mooding, girl. But there were some other days when I felt like utter crap. There were days when I felt so demotivated. I did not want to even get out of my bed. There were days when I did not take shower for an entire week. I just laid in my bed and I just sank in my emotions. And it was just so bad to the part where I remember I was saying to myself, you need therapy. If you don't go to therapy, you are going to go crazy. And I remember I was on Pinterest and I came across something where it says that the greatest form of self-care that you can do is sometimes just to lay in your mess. If I find it, I will just put it on the screen right here for you guys. And that gave me so much motivation to let me understand that it was okay to not be okay. It was okay to feel as though I was not in my best self. And it was those moments where I gave myself grace that allowed me to now feel so empowered and feel so proud of myself for the fact that I did not give up on my low seasons, and that God kept on motivating me to say, you are okay, it's going to get better, rest, just take your time to rest. I would say to you guys in this moment, every single day my kids will be fed, my son is at school, every single night they take their shower. I just ensure that my children were okay, but I could not find that courage to ensure that I was okay on these very bad mood swings moments. And in those moments, I feel as though those are what made me so strong today. Those are what shaped this version of me today, because I did not beat up myself too much in thinking that I would end up not moving forward. I just allowed myself to feel the pain. I allowed myself to feel the anger. Whatever mood that season or that day brought, I just accepted it. I allowed myself to go through it. And once I allowed myself to go through it, then I would find that whether a day or two, or sometimes even the very same day, I would feel a lot better, and I would get up, take my shower, do my self-care, do whatever it is that I would feel as though I need to do to get back up on track. And trust me, girl, every single time that I would go for it and push through, I felt a little bit higher in my self-love journey. I felt as though I have crossed another hurdle. I felt as though I was really getting to cross over some things that I was not able to deal with in my past. And each one that I crossed over felt really, really good. Now I must speak on this one, which is a bonus one for you guys, a bonus challenge that I have to speak about when you are going through an intense glow up journey. And for me, over the last 12 months, I must say that the period of isolation that you will go through, it is I don't even know how to explain this part. It was so hard, you guys. Not having anybody to talk to, not having any friends, not having anybody to pour into you but God. I must say it was tremendously hard, and I would find myself on days saying, how could the world be so big but yet I feel so alone? Even though I was never the type of girl who liked a big circle, but there was just an immense amount of loneliness that I would feel on my shoulders that made me feel like I was not loved, that made me feel like I was not cared for. And I realized that I needed that lonely season. I needed that isolation season. I needed the voices of people outside of my head so that God could shape me and send me into the right direction, so that I could figure out who I am, so that I could determine what pathway I want to go on, so that I could see the version of myself that I no longer wanted to be. And I had to go through that isolation period, sis. It is not a glow up journey if you have not been isolated. So you will feel as though you have been left all alone, but I must say that it is very, very, very important that you isolate yourself, that you figure out who you are and learn this new version of you that you're trying to evolve into, and allow this season to be one that shapes you into the woman that you will be proud of 12 months later. So those are the things that I feel as though were my biggest challenges in the last 12 months of my glow up journey. And so I want to share with you guys the 3 things plus 1 bonus of the high moments that I have had on my 12 months glow up journey this far. I was always in a rush in trying to get my life together. I always was that girl who was like, oh my God, this needs to be done now, and I need this and that, and everything was just about a no for me. And as I took that time to really slow down and to understand myself and that life is a journey, I really fell in love with the fact that I was able to be present not just for my children but present for myself. I was giving myself every single inch of grace that I could give myself, and it felt wonderful, you guys. If I woke up one morning and I was not feeling like I wanted to get dressed and I feel like I just wanted to stay in my robe, it felt so good knowing that it was not a crime to do this. It felt so good knowing that I was not beating myself up because I was not able to be as productive as people would think that I should be. It felt good knowing that I was pouring into myself in the softest way that I could. And this, I believe, is what also shaped my self-love journey. I was getting comfortable with the fact that if today you don't feel like getting all on your high, it is okay. Go ahead and keep on your robe, do your light skincare or your self-care if it is that you want to, and whatever feels right to me in that moment was what I did. I forgot about the fact that I needed to achieve this or I needed to achieve that, or that I needed to become my best self and this and that. Like, I forgot about all those things and I just focused on how I felt in that moment. I started to live very, very present. I even was not living on a day-to-day basis anymore. I started to live on a in this moment basis. How was I feeling right now, and what it is that I could do for myself that would make me feel better. And I find that those were the gem moments that I always look back at and say, girl, I'm so happy you did not ignore your feelings. You did not ignore your body. You did not ignore your emotions. And the fact that you spent that time to let the inner you be soft felt amazing. I don't pressure myself anymore to feel as though, oh girl, you need to do this or else, and you need to get up at 5 a.m. or else, and I'm on this very strict schedule. I have forgotten about that, and I just allow myself to go on moment by moment. And I find that when I do so, I feel in sync with me, it is amazing. I finally started to get dressed and come out of my apartment. When I finally decided that, you know what, girl, it's time to put yourself together. It's time for you to start looking as though you are evolving internally. I started to finally drop off the old mama clothes and start to put on clothes that made me feel young, beautiful, and sexy. I started combing my hair. I started doing my makeup. I started to do all the things that made me feel as though I was living out my best self. I did not want to sit in the misery of believing that, oh my God, here you are, you're going through a divorce and the whole world is on your head, da 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 da. Like, I refuse to have had that as my narrative, and so I allowed myself to start to go through this period where I said, okay girl, if God is working on the inside of you, then you need to start working on the outside of you. God works on the inside. It is your responsibility to work on the outside, ensuring that self-care was now an everyday thing. And it felt amazing. I could not go back from this girl that I was becoming. This picture that you guys are going to see, whichever side I'm putting her up on, let me come to this side so that I can put her here. But this picture that you're seeing of myself was the very first time that I went ahead and did a physical transformation, when I decided that, you know what, girl, you are going to figure out what works for you from what no longer works for you. And I'm wearing the exact same blouse as you see, because it is very significant to me that I look back and say, okay girl, this is who you were 6 months ago, and here you are 6 months later, and it feels amazing. This version of me would be so proud of this woman that I have become. I keep saying that it feels amazing because it truly, truly, truly feels amazing. It is a blessing. It is an honor to know that I have been through so many challenges. I must say that even going through a period where suicidal thoughts was like every single day on top of my mind, I am very much proud of myself, and I know God is proud of me, and He wants to be proud of you also, baby girl, by using my story as your motivation to start your glow up journey and make the hard decisions that you need to make, because I promise you, it will change your life. You will feel so good. You will feel so much better in knowing that you never gave up on you. So let's move on to the third high moment that I have had over the last 12 months of my glow up journey. I have found that the more I became soft with myself is the more I became soft with my children. Is the more I felt like I was becoming that present mom that I've always desired to be. In the relationship, you guys, I found that I became very angry. I was that mom who started to yell and curse and just be so upset with my children because I was not being true to myself. And so as I went through that phase of my life where I was healing and having the different mood swings and just trying to cross each hurdle, I realized that the more God told me to practice self-care, and the more I actually practiced those self-care moments and realized that I was really being soft and tender to myself, I started to treat my children the exact same way, and it felt really, really right. My son felt as though he was not feeling good today and he did not want to go to school. I did not force him. I wanted him to start to understand that, okay, it is okay to not feel okay and not be pressured to ignore your feelings. And so as I would treat myself with tenderness, grace, love, and just abundant patience, I started to treat my children the exact same way. Now, I must say that some days I tick off in the head because I still at the same time was healing. I was learning, I was trying, and I'm still learning, I'm still healing. But at the same time, I must say that where I was 12 months ago, I am nowhere near there. So as you go through that season of your life where you realize that you become soft and tender and patient with yourself, you will start to treat other persons around you the same way, especially if you have young children that really depends on you for emotional support. Now, the final one that I would say that was a major high in the whole self-love, self-care, self-development, reinventing myself / glow up journey that I have been on over the last 12 months, girl, is the actual glow up. I am just so in love with this version of myself. I am just loving this woman that I have become over the last 12 months, and I would not have it any other way, you guys. I just love the fact that I have finally figured out how is it that I want my life to go, and it is going on exactly how I have seen God portray it in my mind to be. So if it is that you have been feeling as though, oh my god, this glow up journey is too hard, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I'm ever going to get that opportunity to see my dream self, then I must let you understand, girly girl, that it took me 1 full year. It took me 12 months of transformation, of intense internal work for me to see this version of myself that I am so loving today. I am just loving the fact that I have done enough internal work and enough healing where I can now say this girl is going out on all solo days that I can go on. So I am just getting started on really learning to live out my best life right now. I was mentioning in one of my videos just how much I have always loved the idea of just spending my 30s going to different cafes and just eating and just bonding with myself, enjoying myself, and I really love that for me. For the fact that I've started this already, it really aligns with the person that I know God wants me to be, and it also aligns with the dreams and the visions as to how I have always seen myself living in my 30s. So you guys will see a lot of self-care as usual, a lot of solo dating as usual, a lot of just me pouring into myself, because that is what I am about right now. That is what God has called me to. And so just sharing this portion of my lifestyle with you guys, I must say that I'm very honored in going forward and ensuring that you guys are also being motivated and inspired to live out your best life, even if it takes you 12 months, baby girl. You will at the end of the day enjoy the fact that you did not give up on you, and that is what true glow up is. That you choose to ride every single wave that came your way. The fact that you never allowed any of those waves to take you away, but you stayed strong, you stayed focused, you stayed true to you. And for me, that is what true glow up is, and that is what I can say about myself, which is the reason now why I'm so proud of me, because I did not allow any of those waves, that hard, big, very forceful waves that came my way, to knock me completely off my feet, to the point where I would not be able to stand before you right now giving you a 12 months glow up update on my life. And so with that, this is where I want to leave you in this video. I have come to understand that I cannot pour from an empty cup. I have to pour into myself first. I have to love on myself first. I have to do the do for me first, and once everything is okay with me, then I can go ahead and take care of my children. So with that being said, baby girl, welcome to your new glow up girly best friend, sister, whatever you want to call me. And I do hope you subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye now.
See right through me.